Hello everyone, welcome to yet another tutorial. Today we are going to look at how to create a Minecraft theme animation in Blender. So we are going to use constraints to create the rig for this character. We'll just look at how to do the basic texture mapping. I have used a HDRI image for basic lighting, and then we'll look at how to create keyframes and make the animation repeat itself. Alright, so let's see how this is done in Blender from scratch. First things first, you need textures. So I look for Minecraft smiley face texture and went to images, and I was looking for a Minecraft smiley face. I think there was one image here somewhere. Maybe I removed the texture from there, and then maybe you can use this one or this one. Okay, so you can save any image that you want, and then the other thing I search for is Minecraft gray texture. Gray. Okay, and then I downloaded a few of these for the wall and the floor. Alright, so now that I got this Minecraft happy face. So let us look for Minecraft happy face. You can use this one also if you want. Anyhow, there's a box. We'll name this face. And then we're going to click on snap and move it up. Go to 1 and maybe just 1. Shift D to duplicate and then scale it. Then hit N and make sure that it's scaled 0.25 and 0.25. And we'll place it on the ground. Stop the snapping so it is at 0. Let us see if we can snap this onto the left. It goes a little beyond, so 0.75. Shift D, move it left, 0.75. Okay, so this is the basic character. Now texture mapping. We'll go and add an image texture and find the texture. Okay, so you can see that image texture is assigned. Now we'll go to UV editing because we need to edit this texture. So we'll go here and look at how things are looking. So this is our main texture. So we'll go to face here. This face, I'll select it, and then we need to scale it. Do rotation also. Okay, and then we need to rotate it. Alright, so now on the top, we can move this in the middle here somewhere. So this way you can decide where you want your elements to be. So for example, the back one, I will move it here. So it gets a different texture. On the left side, all others can have the same. Okay, so same way for the feet. We'll go it out of edit mode, select this, edit mode, select the front side, then move it, then top, this one looks good, this one maybe it can be black, the back side can have this one will be here. Okay, so this looks clean. Now tab, we'll do the same thing real quick on this. You could simply copy paste, but really is a really fast way to do it. This is good. The bottom one, the back one, and that's about it. Okay, so our texture mapping is done. We'll get out, file, save as, save your project. Just call it some name. Alright, so now that our texture mapping is done, what we need is our rigging. So when I move this leg, this object should move, and then when I lift the leg, it should rotate, and then when this is moved in the front, it should rotate in this direction. So first things first, when this leg moves, this should move. So I'm going to select this object, and I'm going to say, now this object, the transforms are not correct, so I'll go to Object, Apply, Transforms to Delta, Objects, Apply, Transforms to Delta, Object, Apply, Transforms to Delta. So everything becomes zeros, so it's clean. Now we will go here and go to Constraints, and we're going to add, select this, and add copy location, and the location is going to be, okay, I didn't rename this. This is going to be left, and this is going to be right. Important that you rename your object so you know what you're doing. So this object will be constrained to the left foot. I selected light instead of left. Let us delete that light. We don't need the light. I was wondering what is going on. Alright, we'll keep the offset, and influence will be 0.5. Okay, so when I select this, the other object moves. I'll do the same thing again. Copy location, influence 0.5, keep the offset, object is right. Okay, so now our object can walk. Okay, the face will always be in the middle of these two, whether you move it in X or Y or Z. Okay, so it will find a middle part between these two. So that is fine. Now what we need is when this object, which direction is Z, when it moves in Z, we want this to rotate in Y. Okay, so we will select this. We are done with these two, so I'll close these, and then we will add transformation, because now we are saying that movement of one object should control the rotation of other object. So I want this object to move up in Z. Okay, so select this. I will say extrapolate, and this will be controlled by left, and the Z goes up by 1. And then now we are saying that this rotation is Y. So Y rotation should be controlled by rotation. Y rotation should be controlled by the Z axis of this by say 10. Okay, so when I select this and I move it up, it's rotating, but we want it the other direction. So we will change this to -1. Okay, so when I lift this up, it rotates on the left side. Okay, so easy way to understand is when you are doing the Z, this is the movement of object in Z, and then we type Z to -1, and in the rotation we are supposed to connect the Y of this. So this is moving in Z and this is moving in Y. So the rotation of Y will be controlled by Z or location of this. So I'll do the same thing again. Add a transformation, extrapolate, right, movement of this object in Z by -1. Map to, now this object should rotate in Y and it should be controlled by the Z of the other object by maximum of 10 degrees. And then undo it, it will be rotation, which will be 10 degrees. So when this moves up, +1. So this moves in +1, this moves in -1. Okay, so if you turn this off, you can see that this is what we want, and then you select this is what we want. Now the other thing we want is this movement. When this moves in Y, this should rotate in Z. Okay, so again we will do the same thing. Y1 and rotate in Z controlled by Y. Then we will do, let's say 5. So when I select this and I move it, okay, we did right. So see, right, and then it is moving in the wrong direction. So we will type -1. So now it is moving in the right direction. Okay, up is right and front is also right. Now this up is working. Now right is not working. So we'll select this, close this, open this one, and then Y will be 1, and rotation, Z rotation is controlled by Y, and it is 5. Then you can see, now this is looking right. Okay, so that's our rigging. our rigging is done. Our character can move now. So let us create keyframes. So I'll hit the 3 key, go to wireframe, move it back like this. Okay, by 2. Then we'll turn the snapping on. So keying here, I'm going to say only location. Okay, I'll turn the auto key on, and we can simply move this. So it creates a key. So after 10 frames, it will move the front like this, and at 20 it remains there. So I'll move add a keyframe. So we have a 20 frame animation. Now the other object stays there until 10, nothing changes, and at 20 it moves one step forward. So now we complete one. So all the keyframes should be there, one at 0 and then one at 20 for both of these. Now at 5, this object moves up. Okay, and at 15, this object moves up. And now we have our character walking. Okay, so that's it. We have not done anything, so we'll clear keyframe for rotation and scale for this, and then same clear keyframe, turn this off. We didn't do anything in X, so clear keyframe in X also. So now we only have X and Y. Okay, and then our animation is working. Now we need to make this happen throughout. So we will go into graph editor, and we will select our location, go to modifiers, turn this up a little bit, and we'll add a cycle. So it continuously happens, and we want it to happen repeat with offset. Same way here, cycles, repeat with offset. Select the other one, cycle, repeat with offset. Select the other one, cycle, repeat with offset. And then our character will keep walking and walking and walking. Alright, so time to save our work. Rigging is done. Now it's time for some basic camera settings and plane. So add mesh plane, scale it big, go to materials, add a new material, name this ground, and image texture, and assign any texture that you like for the ground. Then we will have to shift D this and rotate it 90 degrees, move it back. You can assign a new texture to this. And assign another image. Okay, Shift D and rotate it 90 degrees. Place it where you want it. Okay, so our character is starting here. So we will move this front and around here. Please go to camera, select the camera, go to view, lock it, zoom out, pan it, position it, move it left, up, whatever works for you. And then you can have the character walk out of the screen at 120 frames. Okay, so I'm happy with the camera, textures, everything looks right. Now it's time to go to cycles, denoising, and then I'm going to use open image denoiser. I'm going to reduce this to 64 to speed up. Output has to be 1280 by 720. Okay, start and 120, 24 frames per second. Save it as, where do you want to save it? Desktop, Blender, Minecraft. Give it a name. File type FFmpeg. Encoding MPEG-4. Quality high quality. Okay, everything done. Go to environment, add an HDRI image, Control Z, environment, texture, open. Go to hdriheaven.com and select an image and find what type of image you want, and then it will create the shadows. Okay, so this has a long shadow. You can select different images and see what kind of shadows you get. Okay, so this has a softer shadow. You can try this one. Okay, so that's the shadow for that. We can go to film, color management, and we can do raw. You can see it becomes darker. Filmic log, nope. False color, nope. Standard, raw. Nope, I think standard looks better. Okay, so let us add a little bit of depth of field. So go to cameras, depth of field. Where did it go? Camera, depth of field, viewport display, limits. Okay, and then you can decide where the distance of the focus is going to be, and this can be a low value. Go to 0. You can see what that low value does. 0.2. 0.1, 0.05. So it's blurred out. It will come in focus and blur out again. So 0.1 I think is a good number. So it has some blurring happening. Okay. And then if you go to render image, you get the quality of image that you want. And then you can go to render animation and you can get the movie. So that's about it. Thank you very much. You can see a nice depth of field, and really quickly you can get a very interesting character animation done. I went to YouTube and I searched for Minecraft walk sound. Then you can download this and add that for your walk cycle in After Effects or in Blender. Okay, that's about it. Thank you very much.